Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here tonight with another requested reading, and this request is going to be for Jennie and Lisa from BLACKPINK. Now, I have read them before. I did get a request for an updated request on these two, especially since they're on tour right now. So I figured, yeah, let's do it. So that's what we're here to do tonight. Let me get everything laid out here. I have everything all shuffled. Let me get everything laid out here for you guys. And remember, if you have any other requests you'd like to see from me, please feel free to drop a comment below. I will get it on the list for you and get it out as soon as I can. It will probably be a couple weeks, give or take, okay? So just be patient with me and rest assured it is coming. And I thank you so much for your patience. Also, as I always say, if you were interested in your own personal reading with me, I do offer those right now just for $5 to my Venmo or PayPal. I can do a tarot reading, love, career, general. I also have a whole beautiful collection of oracle cards if you'd like some messages from your angels, deceased loved ones, anything of that sort, and also 25 yes/no questions with a pendulum. I have read over a dozen of my YouTube subscribers here, and I've gotten some pretty good feedback. So if it's something you're interested in, I'd be so grateful. And if not, that's okay. Just liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel is enough support for me. And I thank you all with infinite gratitude. So let me finish getting these laid out and let's get into this. So Jennie and Lisa. So let's start off by pulling one card for each of them. Let's see where each of them is at energetically today as we are filming this. Get a quick drink. Okay, so let's do one for Jennie first, over here on the left. I'm going to go with this one back here. So the Magician. The Magician. My freaking camera cut off. I apologize. So, yes, the card for Jennie that we pulled here for her energy-wise, she's coming up as the Magician. So with this, I'm reading this as, you know, she's just someone who is very confident and magnetic. So, yes. Now let's come over here for Lisa. Let's see what we get for her. I'm going to go with this one right here. Okay, hers is a little bit different. Okay, so she's coming up as the Four Cups. So could be depression, feeling disconnected, maybe a little bored possibly. I don't know. It's almost like she might be feeling a little lack of motivation right now. Maybe, you know, like being on tour, maybe it's just really exhausting. Maybe a little discouraged, a little tired. It's interesting. All right, let's continue on here. All right, so what's going on with their friendship? Let's see if we can get anything. Letting go of the past. Leaving things behind with the Six of Swords here. I think Lisa, is Lisa the one, oh, I wish I had a better memory sometimes. It's kind of frustrating. Because I know there's two members of this band, BLACKPINK, and sometimes they can kind of go head to head, and I'm thinking it might be Jennie and Lisa, possibly. I might be wrong. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I'm thinking, and I just think, you know, there is a little stuff from the past, but you know, leaving that behind and moving on, probably the best thing for them. If I'm reading that correctly. I hope I am. I feel like I kind of am, but y'all let me know. But yeah. Yeah. I feel like there was some things in the past, but just kind of moving on from that, you know. So that's what I think. All right, let's continue on here. Ace of Wands, new opportunities, progress. Yeah, you know, I'm being on tour. That does make sense. You know, they're working very hard right now. Working very hard. And new opportunities will arise. I know I did a reading on BLACKPINK as a whole not too long ago, and there's definitely a lot of new opportunities coming for them. Like all of them, not just specifically Lisa and Jennie, but like all of them, like the band as a whole. But yeah, just working creatively, and obviously doing what they're doing with the music that is creative, creative endeavors and whatnot. So that does make sense to me. Knight of Cups. Yeah, and also with this Knight of Cups, especially like within the friendship and the relationship of these two, it's good company, for the most part. Like when things are great, they're fantastic. But also, if things are not so good, it's not great. You know what I mean? What's that saying? Like when things are bad, they're awful. When things are good, they're great. I don't know exactly how it's worded, but yeah. And they're following their heart and dreams, and as you can see here, this is what that Knight of Cups represents. They're standing in their true north. They're doing their life purpose. They're fulfilling their cup, so to speak. So beautiful. Yeah, the Two of Wands here. This to me is like travel, and this does represent travel. It represents planning, expectations, making decisions, and obviously with them being on tour, that right there is just signifying, they are traveling together right now. They are working together right now. So that confirms that. The Empress. Yeah, that divine feminine energy. Abundance, nurturing, and then that creative energy too, and obviously, like I'd said, with them, being on tour right now, that's creativity. You're singing, you're making music, you're singing for the crowd. That's creativity, it's a form of art. That's what they're doing, So, yeah, overall pretty good. Seems pretty good right now with these two. We do have the Moon. It could be a little bit of illusion and fear and anxiety too. And then with that one with Lisa that we pulled with just, the kind of feeling maybe disconnected a little bit. There could be a little bit of that. Not sure exactly why that's happening. I can't really give an answer with that part, but, there could be a little bit of that going on. And maybe it's just the nervousness too. I mean, shit, if I did what they did, I'd probably be really nervous. I don't know if I could handle being in a crowd of like thousands and thousands of people. I'd probably have a heart attack. But, maybe it's that, maybe, we pulled this for Lisa. So maybe Lisa might have a little bit of anxiety and stuff. It might be a little bit hard for her to take sometimes, but like overall, she can handle it. It's just, I feel like it could take over a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But, it does make sense to me. I can see how it can be a little anxiety ridden. You never know what's going to happen, You're going out there in a show, you never know. But, yeah. I mean, that to me makes sense. Page of Wands. Yeah, so with this, I just feel like, this is about them creating together and working together, and, things are going really well. It's just a very strong dynamic and a lively energy, Yeah, for some reason, there is some kind of anxiety and stuff coming up right now. maybe like the exhaustion too. I don't know what that is, but I am seeing it in a couple cards. I know we saw a little bit with Lisa with the one card we pulled. I don't know if it's both of them too, or maybe just one of them. Maybe it's just Lisa, but there's a little bit of, there's something going on with that. Feeling trapped, feeling restricted. Sounds familiar. I feel like like I said a few minutes ago, I wish I could remember better. You start doing so many videos, you know, you just kind of lose track of what exactly is going on. But I feel like in one of the readings I did with them, there was the same kind of energy coming up too. Okay. Queen of Wands. So that's a confident, attractive, passionate energy. You know, being social gatherings, you know, tour, concerts, all that sort of thing. That kind of falls in line with that. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, managing time. You know, so with those two, you know, in this whole reading, based on their friendship and relationship, this Two of Pentacles, I feel like it's just saying that, you know, with the relationship, things are okay. Things could be a little bit better, but their friends still support you. And then, you know, it just makes sense because we're seeing this other energy coming up, you know, with this, and then the Moon and the Four of Cups. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, we'll do a few more here. I mean, overall, it seems pretty good. There's definitely some, like, anxieties and, like, feelings of entrapment, it seems. I'm not 100% sure what all that is. Like I said, it could just be the aspect of them being on tour and them, you know, having to do all these concerts and just the exhaustion and, you know, the stress and all that stuff. Because, you know, I know that shit ain't easy. You know what I mean? It's got to be very tiring. But, yeah. But overall, not bad. Not bad at all, I don't think. Let me get this Lost card. I wonder if it's you know what I'm thinking, too? I'll give an example with myself. It's kind of like me, you know. I have a few people in my life I'm very, very close to, you know, a couple. I don't have very many, but I have a few, and I love them, you know what I mean? I would do anything I can for them. But when you are around each other for so much time, it almost starts to kind of get exhausting, you know what I mean? And then it can kind of like, you can almost kind of like start getting a little aggravated. Like, I know I'm the type of person, like, for example, I'm the type of person, you know, I love chilling with my people. I love hanging out with my loved ones. But there comes a time when I have to, like, go, like, seclude myself. I have to go away. I have to go recharge. I get very overwhelmed. I get very anxious. I get very irritable sometimes. So sometimes I just have to step back. And it's not that, you know, I don't love my people. I don't love my friends or family. But it's just the fact that, like, I need a break, you know, and I'm almost wondering if it's something like that. Like, it's just, you know, you're with the same group of people, you know, you're on tour, you're probably stuck in the bus or the plane or however they're traveling. And, you know, I almost feel at some point it could get a little overwhelming, you know, it could get a little bit of annoying, especially when you can't go, like, step away for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's almost kind of what I'm feeling with these two. And like I said, I wish I could remember, because I hope it was a subby. Like, please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you with infinite gratitude. Even if you don't like every video, I appreciate it so much. But anyway, somebody had commented a while ago on one of these Blackpink videos that I did. I don't remember which two girls it was. It might have been Jennie and Lisa, but they, like, butt heads sometimes, you know, like, they're great friends and they get along really good, but at the same time, but it might not have been Lisa and Jennie. It could have been, like, Jisoo and, oh God, I can't remember all of them. I should. And there's Jennie, Lisa, Rose. Maybe it was Rose. I don't know for sure, but it was kind of that same thing, you know, kind of that same thing where, like, we're close, we're really best friends, but at the same time, if too much time is spent, you can kind of start butting heads a little bit. It's kind of the gist I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. I'm still learning how to articulate and how to explain myself the best that I can. Not quite there yet, but I am trying to get better with that. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel with this. And I wonder, like, did the tour just start? Or, because if it just started, man, that's... depending on how long it is, that might get a little, I don't know the word I'm trying to think of. Overwhelming, I guess. That might get a little overwhelming, depending on how long it goes. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling anyway. Okay, so next we have the King of Cups. This is just that kindness energy, that trusting energy. Again, that creative energy too. That's coming up a lot with these two, and obviously it does make sense given the situation. But yeah, I actually think I'm going to leave it at this for today. I hope you did enjoy this reading, and remember, like I said, if you have any other requests you'd like to see from me, comment below. I will get it on the list and get it out to you in a few weeks, okay? So I thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you on the next one. I thank you all with infinite gratitude. Have a great night. Bye, guys.